Welcome to Soil-Born Farms. My name is Emily and I'm going to take you on a tour today of our farm. Soil-Born is a nonprofit organic farm. We are a 55-acre farm located right on the American River Parkway. We grow a huge variety of fruits and vegetables, and our mission is to connect food, health, and the environment. We're getting towards the end of fall. Winter is coming soon. One of my favorite fruits available during winter is citrus, especially oranges. We have a lot of orange and grapefruit trees on the farm, a few lemon trees as well. And right now, as we walk around, you might see a lot of them starting to grow and their orange fruit. They look really pretty right now. Right behind me is the Creek Orchard. Now this is our main fruit tree producing orchard on the farm. We have 345 trees right here. Now amongst those trees, there's about 10 different species of fruit. We have apricots, pluots, plums, prunes, peaches, nectarines, persimmons, elderberries, and apples. Whoa, that's a lot of fruit. It's awesome. And within each of those species, we have a lot of different varieties. So we have so many different types of fruit growing just in this one space here, which is really cool. Our orchard, they're doing something called sheet mulching. Now we do this every winter here on the farm, especially for our little baby trees that we just planted. What they're doing is around the base of the tree, they're laying down a layer of cardboard, and then on top of that, they're going to put a layer of mulch. And what mulch is, it's a combination of bark and sticks and twigs that are broken down that will continue to break down over time in this cold weather. Those are going to release nutrients into the ground and help fertilize our new fruit trees. That cardboard and that mulch also help keep weeds away from our fruit trees and allow them to send their roots really deep and absorb as much water and as much nutrients from the soil as possible. This fruit tree right here is called a persimmon tree. Now, if you've never eaten a persimmon before, these ones are Fuyu persimmons, and they are so sweet and so delicious. And this time of year, in the fall and winter, you can see them at the grocery store. If you've never tried one before, I recommend you buying them because they are super, super delicious. Now, take a look at this tree. What do you notice about it? Almost all of its leaves are gone. They've almost all dropped on the ground. Now, a lot of trees do this in the winter, and these trees have a special name. They're called deciduous trees. You can remember that because the word deciduous starts with a D, and those drop their leaves. The word drop starts with a D, drop deciduous. Now, trees do this for a couple different reasons. The main reason is that it helps them conserve their energy. It takes a lot of energy to grow leaves and to photosynthesize. And in the winter, there's not that much sun, so the trees decide it's better for them to drop their leaves and not waste that extra energy and wait till the spring when the sun is out for longer. They also do it because these trees, these leaves, are really delicate, and oftentimes they turn brown. They can't function as well in the winter anyways, so it's more beneficial for them to just drop their leaves. And when they drop these leaves then act as a mulch for the tree. So these get broken down by fungus, bacteria, and invertebrates, and they add nutrients back into the soil and give back to the tree. So we talked a little bit about deciduous trees that drop their leaves, and as you can see, there's some more of those behind me starting to change their leaf color. Soon those are going to drop onto the ground. We also have a lot of evergreen trees here on the farm. And evergreen trees, remember, those are the ones that keep their leaves all year round. And you can remember that because the name evergreen kind of sounds like they are green forever. So evergreen trees will always have those green leaves. And they can do this because their leaves are a lot hardier than the deciduous tree leaves. These often are a little bit waxier. They keep in that moisture a lot better than deciduous trees, and they will survive fine even in cold, windy, harsh winter weather. This right here is an oak tree. We all have other evergreen trees on the farm such as pines, olive trees, redwood trees, and all of these will stay green throughout the winter. Some of them have more round leaves like this. Some have needles as well. We have a lot of different types of evergreen trees here. Any idea what these beautiful trees are? If you take a look right up here, you might spot some of the fruit. These are pomegranates, which are another fruit we have during the fall on the farm. They have red, juicy seeds that you can eat. Here is a ripe pomegranate.
Show the end.
You can see this is where the flower was, and then it formed into this fruit. Great. Right behind me is our farm's greenhouse. Now this is where a lot of the magic starts on the farm. We grow almost all of our plants from seeds, and in this greenhouse is where we prepare those seeds and help them grow and get ready to be planted out into the field. Let's go inside and take a look at what's growing. So right now in the winter, the things that we are getting ready to plant in the field include lettuce and fennel. We also have scallions and also some parsley. You might hear right now the sound of chickens. We have 8 chickens here on the farm, and every so often we'll bring them into our greenhouse. They help eat slugs and bugs that we don't want in our greenhouse, help protect these beautiful plants from those little insects. They also help us control the weeds in our greenhouse, which, as you can see, there's a lot of weeds right now on the floor. This is a protected space. It keeps out the wind and the water, and it also is a lot warmer than it is outside. And so these different conditions really help these baby plants grow and ensure that they are healthy and are doing well before we plant them out in the field where it's a little bit colder and the weather is a little bit harsher. Slugs and birds love to eat the baby plants growing in our greenhouse. In order to protect them, we cover the plants with this white fabric called tulle. It has really tiny holes which are big enough for us to water the plants, but not big enough for slugs or birds to creep through and eat the plants. Great work, ladies! Keep eating those bugs! Eat time, chickens! Come on! The chickens love being in the greenhouse so much, sometimes it's hard to get them back into their coop.
Come on. Woohoo! This way, this way.
I'm glad you all wore your warm coats today. It's getting windy. Now, right here we have a really exciting project happening. We are in the process of building a whole second greenhouse, just like that other one we went inside earlier. We're gonna have a whole other one right here. And this is super exciting because this is going to allow us to grow a lot more plants. Now, right now we have space to grow enough plants to grow on the farm, but we want to be able to provide more plants to our community And so having this second greenhouse is going to give us the resources to grow a lot more plants and then sell them to our community so you can grow your own garden at home in your backyard. This is our youth garden. It might not look like much is happening right now, but there's actually a lot going on here. We have something really special going on right now in our youth garden. We have just planted a bunch of cover crop. Now what cover crop is, it's a mixture of plants that are planted in between growing seasons that help add nutrients to the soil. They help cover and protect the soil from eroding. As you can see here, we have a variety of cover crops. We have bell beans, oats, and vetch. And each of these do different roles. Some of them help add nitrogen to the soil. Some just have really fibrous roots that help loosen up the soil and get it ready for the springtime. We'll come back in and we'll plant fruits and vegetables in once the weather starts getting warmer. But for now, our soil is protected and it's getting fertilized and additional nutrients added to it, which is pretty cool. Right here is called a passion vine, and this is a really special plant for an insect. It's what's called a host plant for the Fritillary butterfly. Now the Fritillary butterfly and caterpillar need this plant in order to survive. The caterpillars can only eat this passion vine. Now take a look. Here is a Fritillary caterpillar. Now they have some really cool adaptations to help them survive. You can see they have these spikes, which are not actually prickly, but they keep away birds. When birds see those spikes, they say, "Ooh, I don't want to eat that. That looks like it would be really uncomfortable to eat." They also have this bright orange and white coloring that also keeps away predators and birds from eating them. These caterpillars on this same vine, they'll eat up the vine, and as you can see, there's a lot of leaves missing. The caterpillars have been really active on this plant, eating it up. Once they eat a bunch, they grow nice and big, they will form a chrysalis, and we have some really cool chrysalis here on our vine. If you look down there, they blend in really well to the vine. The dead passion vine leaves look very similar to the chrysalis, which helps these chrysalises blend in and prevents them from getting eaten as well. And then once those chrysalises, over time, inside they will liquefy and form into a butterfly, and those butterflies will break out and they'll fly around, they'll do their thing, and eventually they'll come back and they'll lay their eggs right on this passion vine. So when they hatch, those next caterpillars have their food source right here, ready to go, and the whole cycle will start over again. One of the areas that's still active even in this cool fall weather is our compost. Now composting is a quick way to make new soil that's full of nutrients using extra veggie and fruit scraps from your kitchen or from the farm, and you add them into a bin along with dry material, which can be straw or leaves, and micro and macro organisms, little things you can't see, and big insects you can see, fungus and also bacteria, work together to eat up all of those dry and wet food and food scraps and leaves and convert it into soil that we can then add back onto our farm. Right now in the cold winter, our compost is 82 degrees Fahrenheit. That's pretty hot. All of the insects and bugs in the compost are working hard, eating the veggie scraps and dry matter and releasing heat, which is warming up our compost. If we were to add more veggie scraps to our compost might reach temperatures of over 100 degrees. During this time of the coronavirus, there's been a lot of challenges on the farm, but there have been a lot of opportunities as well. We've started a lot of new projects we've been wanting to do for a long time. And as you can see here, 2 of our employees are working on a project. Hey Vanessa, what are you guys working on?
Hey, we're working on pulling out all of these herbs so that we can redo this garden. It's really impacted with invasive weeds such as Bermuda grass and nutsedge. Winter's a really good time to redo your garden if you need to do that.
Oh look, there was a surprise pumpkin growing under all of those herbs.